Regina King is back on the big screen, but this time in the director's chair for her directorial debut. Is this movie a Best Picture contender? Let's find out in the review. How are we doing, everybody? This is Let's Be Real Brad. Today we will discuss the new critically acclaimed Prime Video original film, One Night in Miami. This film has been getting a significant buzz from critics and fans alike as a possible Best Picture contender. The film had a limited release window on Christmas Day in 2020 and then began streaming last Friday, so I have been waiting very patiently for this movie to come. The biggest question though is this movie worth the hype? The answer to that is yes. I do think it is. The most significant praise I can give this movie is to make these historical figures come to life, and to believe these are the real people talking is outstanding to me. Regina King did a fabulous job in her detail of trying to make these men have the exact amount of detail like accents, outfits, and body language to make the audience believe in them for a few hours. Speaking of Regina King, she did an excellent job behind the camera to make this talky movie have so much style, energy, and enjoyment by having a fantastic shot selection which genuinely impressed me. Many of these dramatic and emotional moments had an extra touch of grandeur because of her outstanding work. King also does a surprisingly excellent job with a few boxing scenes in the film. They looked entirely believable as they are shot with such poise and clear vision that you could clearly tell everything that was happening. Boxing scenes are some of the most challenging scenes to ever shoot for a film, but she makes this look seamless, so I hope she makes a boxing movie next because it looked great for only being a small portion of the film. Acting is also phenomenal with the main cast of Kingsley Ben-Adir, Eli Gore, Aldous Hodge, and Leslie Odom Jr. They dominate the screen as they deliver their lines with such excellent delivery. Kingsley Ben-Adir as Malcolm X stole the show for me by nailing every tiny aspect of Malcolm X. This could be due to having the most lines in the film to showcase Ben-Adir's acting ability. All of them deserve loads of praise. The writing is also excellent with Kemp Powers helming the script. If you don't know Kemp Powers, he was also a co-screenwriter for Pixar's Soul that came out last year, which also had one of my favorite screenplays of the year. So Kemp Powers might go home with some awards in April. The film is mostly dialogue driven, which is totally okay as it keeps me interested and engaged all the way through. Once the rooftop scene happens, things start to get serious, which then the movie felt like a non-stop race to the finish. I could have kept listening to these historical figures talk about these philosophical ideas and have them combat against each other. That's how you know your movie is good. The musical score composed by Terrence Blanchard, who is a perfect choice for this film, adding this sweet, soothing feel to this film that fit the period so perfectly. I truly felt like I lived in the 60s culture hearing the beautiful piano playing that sounded like magic to my ears. He was nominated for Best Score with BlacKkKlansman and has won 6 Grammy Awards, so I guess you could say he was the right person for the job. Leslie Odom Jr. does perform a few classic Sam Cooke songs playing Cooke. He does marvelous renditions of his songs, being the perfect choice to play Sam Cooke. I'm glad he was able to show off his musical range in this film for that very reason. If you want more of this, go watch Hamilton on Disney Plus and you will thank me later. The cinematography is also gorgeous, being one of the best looking films of the year with a little bit of a grainy, warm look to it that captures that classic 60s era so well. The colors burst out the screen with all their outfits and set design. The production design and costume design are flawless in this film that feels like they come right out of the 60s themselves. The motel they go to looks as if it came out of a textbook with every intricate detail being on display, which felt authentic. The boxing scenes also look fantastic as well, with the stadium style with the ample lighting shining over the ring, and the setup of the stadium looked perfect. The editing is also flawless that flows so perfectly throughout the film. It is one of the best edited films of the year that made this movie feel so smooth and great. The film does have some negatives because it takes a very long time for this movie to get going, as it takes up to 50 minutes to get heavily invested. The beginning is about setting up these historical figures to come down to Miami to have this get together. It needs to set up these historical figures' backgrounds, making it feel clunky and smooth as I wanted it to be. It seemed to have this formula that runs through where I just wanted to get to the meeting in Miami because the beginning doesn't establish anything exciting. This could be because I know quite a bit about these historical figures, so I felt like I knew everything about them. But I would love to know what people think of the first 50 minutes who don't know much about about these historical figures. Overall, this is an excellent film that addresses the current world through these black men of the 1960s culture. It shows how relevant and robust their mixed ideologies still mean to this day. It also showcases how racism in America is still alive and well. The acting is phenomenal, along with some of the year's best writing, with Regina King being wonderful behind the camera. This is a must-watch film. I'm giving this film an 8 out of 10. So, let me know down below in the comment section if you have seen One Night in Miami. If you have, let me know what you thought of this film. Before you leave this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as it means the world to me. You guys are liking the videos and being subscribed to the channel. You guys are the best. As always, I will see you all in the next video.